American University's Bender Arena, the Stafford Pop Cassell Court, is the home of the championship game of the Gonzaga DC Classic, the 19th annual Gonzaga DC Classic 2007. Good evening, everybody. I'm Nate Lewis, joined by Matt General. Got the U.S. Sports Radio crew right here on All In Broadcasting. Hope you enjoyed the pictures here all weekend long of great Gonzaga DC Classic. Well, Matt, Gonzaga, Bishop Loughlin in this championship game. Certainly the organizers, when they like to see the purple Eagles in the championship game, sort of set up like that. But hey, why not? The Gonzaga Purple Eagles, one of the top teams in the Washington, D.C. area, have been for a long time under relatively new coach Steve Turner, doing a job, taking on a very tough team out of New York.
They really are. Of course, Nate, you look at Gonzaga, this might be one of their best starting five teams since about 1990, when they had five starters in that program headed to Division I, top tier and mid-tier Division I basketball programs. You look at the players that they have, particularly WCAC honor players Cameron Johnson, who accepted a football scholarship to UVA, and then Max Kendi, who committed to Harvard but was also recruited by a number of other schools as well. Bishop Loughlin, obviously one of the best teams in New York. That's a really tough conference up there in the New York Catholic Conference League. That this Bishop Loughlin team, they returned five starters from last season, two Division I players, James Johnson at Quinnipiac University and Kevin Phillip headed to Drexel University. They also have some real quality younger players, guys like Trevin Hamlet, a sophomore, Duron Ham, a guy who had 25 points in last night's game, and then Jay Vaughn Pinkston, another young prospect, which is highly recruited only as a sophomore. So these teams, as far as talent, match up pretty well against each other, and that explains why they're in the final matchup tonight.
Ought to be a good one here in this championship game. How good is it? Well, let's hear from the coaches themselves. First off, Steve Turner talks about the matchup against Bishop Loughlin.
For the WCAC tournament, your ultimate goal to win the championship. You have to win 3 games in a row. Today, obviously, 3 games in a row to win this title. Is that a pretty good test for you guys as far as the start?
It certainly is a big test, and I think it's an even bigger test because our kids are in the middle of exams right now. They're having to study every day. They're not in the regular routine that we normally be in. We're playing games, so if we're able to pull this off today, it'll be a big test to them and their will to be able to stay in control and stay poised and do the things that we do as a Gonzaga basketball program.
Well, you obviously got a tough test today. Bishop Loughlin, a typical New York team, likes to play a little physical on the guard front, move the ball well. Tell me a little bit about what your game plan is for that.
We've been able to slow them down. They've done a great job the 2 nights in this tournament, getting easy buckets in transition. They do a great job with their press and forcing the turnover. We've got to be able to protect the ball tonight, execute well on offense, and be patient.
Good luck today, and hopefully we can have a Gonzaga victory.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And, of course, Steve Turner expecting big things out of his Gonzaga Purple Eagles. Well, Gonzaga, they took the hard and somewhat the easy road there as well, as they had a tough game against All Hallows, then Fremont to this championship game. Bishop Loughlin, on the other hand, took care of the Catholics, as in Towson Catholic and Roman Catholic, to get to the championship game. And their head coach, Khalid Green, well, once again, as we'll get to him in just a moment here, of course, we talk about how tough this Bishop Loughlin team is going to be. Of course, Gonzaga, one of the top teams in the WCAC, they will create some matchup problems for Bishop Loughlin tonight.
Yeah, they really will. You look at this talent that Gonzaga has, particularly the way they played over the summer. That's probably the best indicator of this team coming into it. They were 35-1 in the summer league. Of course, they played in the Rock League, the Kenner Pro League, and the Eastern Invitational, and they continue that success already with some nice wins so far this season, Nate. And they're playing this Bishop Loughlin team that got knocked out late in the CS CSA intersectional quarterfinals to St. Raymond's, one of the best programs out of New York last season. So these two teams, I think, are on the rise. Probably going to be one of their two best teams in the New York and D.C. areas, respectively.
And, of course, head coach of the Bishop Loughlin Lions knows this Khalid Green. Let's hear from him right now.
From the basketball side, it's pretty rough to play 3 games in 2 different types of arena, but from the transportation and seeing Washington, tell me a little bit about how the experience has been for you guys.
It's been great. They had a chance to
slow-down style than the New York, who likes to get up and down with the guards. What's the play today? Press the tempo?
Yeah, we're just going to do what we do. We want to make plays. We got to defend. That's the key with this team. This team is very good. They're solid. We got to defend.
Well, good today. I think you guys got a good shot.
Thank you.
As he comes in at 7-0 as well. Roaming the sidelines for us tonight, as he did last year, is our very own Stephen Monica.
Hi, Nate. Thank you very much. This is going to be a rip snort. This is probably just about everything the viewers can hope for. This is a championship game. Loughlin the other night blew off the doors of all of our records, scoring 104 points. We had previously only 96 points. Very, very impressive. As you see behind me here, the bleacher bums have assembled. They will be making their presence known at Gonzaga High School. And I'll tell you what, I'm thrilled to be here. Great to work with you again, Nate, and all the best. And let's see a good basketball game. Thanks, Nate.
Thank you, Stephen. And he'll be roaming the sidelines as the starting lineups are being introduced. Of course, there's a lot more than basketball going on out here with the this Gonzaga DC Classic. Of course, many of the charitable events, that go on this this tournament. Of course, the tournament supports here as well. Let's talk with the great Sister Seaton, as she again mentioned some of those things there, and of course gives you some perspective on what this tournament's all about.
Okay. Good afternoon. I'm Will Pisano, and I'm here at the 19th Annual DC Classic with Sister Seaton. How's it going, Sister?
Great.
Sister, your name is synonymous with Gonzaga Service Projects, and I was just curious, what have you changed since you've taken over the helm here?
Well, this is my 13th year at Gonzaga, and I really credit Gonzaga's administration and faculty seeing the need to increase the number of service projects here at Gonzaga. When I first came, we certainly had the McKenna Center and the tutoring up at the first imported in the Perry School, but we really didn't have individual programs for the sophomores and juniors. So one of the first things I did was to start an association with Martha's Table and McKenna's Wagon for the sophomores, and then the organization Food and Friends, which reaches out to homebound folks who either have AIDS or are HIV positive, and now a new outreach for Food and Friends is to help people with a terminal illness. So that during the year, those were the projects that became more expanded. For the summer service projects, we only had 2. One was in Camden, and one was the GIG program, which at that time was in Puerto Rico. And we've increased that now from 2 to 5, as well as for and that they would be for the rising seniors. For the rising sophomores and juniors, we did not have what we now know as Emmitsburg, which is a wonderful outreach for the younger guys at Gonzaga.
Now, personally, I've been fortunate enough I went to Biloxi last summer,
Right.
And there's summer service projects. I was just curious if if there's any that we're trying to expand on, or any new ones that we're trying to do.
I do think, given the need in New Orleans and Biloxi as a result of the storm Katrina, we're looking into starting either a spring break program or perhaps a summer program.
Awesome. So, 19th annual DC Classic. Father of the club runs the show.
Right.
It raises the money for the service projects. How exactly is the money used? Like, where does it all go?
Well, as you know, it's good basketball and a great project.
Right.
So some of it is for the programs that we do during the year. Would be supplies for the tutoring program at the Perry School. It would also be if the campus kitchen program needs some extra food supplies. And definitely during our summer programs, it helps a lot with the construction materials, the painting materials, as we help others in need.
Right. So, is there any particular thing that this year in particular that the money would be going to that you're?
Well, actually, I was thinking a little bit about the needs of our city and our country and our world, and as the economy becomes more difficult, I know definitely on McKenna's wagon we're seeing more of the homeless and the needy, and a new classification called the working poor that are there each night asking for food handouts. And the same is also true, I know from the McKenna Center, that the number of men has increased considerably this year in terms of meals, so that's certainly going to help out in both of those programs. So the needs are great. As we know, we also have wonderful young men and faculty members and parents who are really involved in our service projects, which really helps me love my job even more.
All right, excellent. Thanks for talking to us, sister.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Before we go, any predictions on the Classic?
Number one, Gonzaga is going to beat everyone.
All right, that's what I like to hear. All right.
Thanks.
Thank you.
We're about to get underway here at Bender Arena, but before we do that, of course, I do have to note that national anthem brought something to mind, Matt. Working with you doing a game, the Gonzaga Purple Eagles is kind of like Frank Gifford watching Kathy Lee Gifford sing the national anthem. Gets a little choked up at times, but can you please compose yourself and give us the keys to the game?
I certainly will, Nate. Of course, Gonzaga offensively, they must really be able to implement their inside offense with their production from Cam Johnson and Ian Hummer down the low post. That'll allow the shooting guards to get open looks. Defensively, this is a defending point to James Johnson. Frustrate him and make him force him to pass the ball out and let his teammates convert. Bishop Loughlin offensively, they have to find ways to screen and create lanes for James Johnson. He'll open up looks for Ron Lamb and the other forwards. Defensively, they must stop the forward play of Gonzaga and not allow second chance opportunities.
And now we're underway. Bishop Loughlin has the basketball on the tip. Terry Kernan brings it around up top, playing it to guard. That's Gonzaga and a man around the horn to Doran Lamb. Inside it goes. The runner by James Johnson is no good. Gold brings it down to the long rebound. Down underneath, ball knocked around a little bit. Gold has it up and near the half-court line. 7:27 left, just underway, nothing to score. That's Tyler Thornton. Cam sits for three, back iron, no good. Thornton comes up with a rebound, puts on the floor, back over to Cam Johnson. Around the goal, is going to hold right in front of the Bishop on the bench. Johnson go cross court to Kenny, does get it. Down low it goes now Hummer, turns again, now looks for help, kicks it back up to Kenny. Good matchups all over the place. Thornton here gives it up to Cam Johnson to a running Gold who lobs it up, no good, but it gets fouled. And check that, he has it knocked away by number 23, Javon Pinkston. And Gold is going to be called with the foul.
Yeah, Gould that time, nice pass there on the baseline cut. Goes up for the lay-in, doesn't get the bounce, and then tries to make a play to steal the ball back and gets called for the contact. So Long takes back over here.
Loughlin with the pill now is Michael Lloyd. He's going to go left side, popping a three, missing there. Is Doran Lamb down on the floor. It's going to be picked up and knocked in. Nope, it's going to be knocked around again. Lamb was it with the putback on the second try after the miss by Kevin Phillip.
Well, Gonzaga did a poor job that time of boxing out, allowing the young sophomore Lamb to get that offensive rebound. Good third chance opportunity for him. He finished off the glass.
Hummer, left side, puts on the floor, stops, throws up a runner himself and drains it there. We're all tied up.
That's Ian Hummer, the man coming off the bench this season, but a starter this season. Nice job on the lay-in off the glass down there, working that baseline move.
There's Loughlin with the basketball now. Up high, James Johnson gets it around to Doran Lamb. Pops three, back iron, no good, and there's going to be a foul call. Looks like that may go against Michael Lloyd. He's tried to push Kenny out of the way underneath.
Right now, Bishop Loughlin, knowing that they have to do a good job on the offensive boards, a little aggressive play by Michael Lloyd trying to get to that basketball. Gonzaga takes back over here.
5:51 left. There's Hummer giving to driving forward, lays it up, and it's going to be an offensive call as he charged into Javon Pinkston.
Player control foul called against Thornton that time, who was on the cut to the basket, gets up in the air, but his defensive player gets good position, so he goes against him.
Down low, ball taken away. It's going to be Gold. He's going to go one-on-one against James Johnson. Lays it up, around and good.
Good transition basket that time by Rodney Gould out in front. He's a point guard that has the ability to stretch it out. He's not going to score a lot of points, but really has a good handle of the basketball. So we'll see him really be one of the generals on the offensive side for Gonzaga.
20 left, James Johnson gets it around now to Kevin Phillip. Holds line now back up to Johnson. 5:10 left. Gonzaga leads 4-2 here in this championship game of the Gonzaga DC Classic. Now Kid Kernan holds, drives, lost the handle. Is going to be down on the floor. That's Doran Lamb comes up with it. Gets it back over to Phillip. Phillip pops 17-footer, swishes that through.
Nice looking jumper that time from about 12 feet out. Kevin Phillips, he's got one of the best pure shooters there for this Bishop Loughlin team. Nice job by finishing off that play.
44 left. There's a drive going into Cam Johnson to get first points in the game.
And there's another guy who has a great touch around the basket. Cam Johnson, the 6'5", 225-pound senior that time off the glass. Nice cut to the basket.
As Phillip pops from 12, is no good. Kenyon comes up with a rebound, pushes it up. It's going to be taken away. Lamb has a lane to the basket. Will lay it up good.
Bad turnover there for the Eagles. They're giving up an easy bucket. And that's something you don't want to do against this Bishop Loughlin team. They're very talented at making those steals and converting them. Here they go for another one.
Another one's knocked away there. Gold's able to recover it. And the cross-court pass from Kenyon. Kenyon has it right now. High right stutter step. Tries to touch it into Hummer. Nice pass, but Hummer going to have it. That's Cam Johnson. Right elbow. Going to drain that. Cam Johnson has four. Quickly up the floor. Lamb puts it up. No good. Cam Johnson saves it in bounds. Both teams run up and down right now. 8-6 to score. 3:44 to go in the first. Sub coming in the first break for Bishop Loughlin. Kenley drives, lays it up. Good. Boy, he did a good job of getting Kevin Phillip up in the air.
Good pump fake move that time by number 23 for Gonzaga, Max Kenny, the senior.
Yep. That'll be a 30-second timeout called as the Gonzaga Purple Eagles lead 10-6. And what a weekend of basketball this has been here in this Gonzaga DC Classic. We've certainly seen it all. Of course, we talked about this Bishop Loughlin squad that they broke the scoring record in day one.
Yeah, it's just a really talented squad here. Talking to Bishop Loughlin. And, these teams really mirror themselves pretty well, Nate, as far as they've got a couple senior leader players, but they have a lot of younger talent as far as sophomores and juniors that are probably some of the best players, definitely in their regions, but also in the country as far as the analysts are ranking them at their positions.
Loughlin squad down underneath. It goes on. It was as sub Trevin Hamlet.
A great baseline catch that time by number 5 for Loughlin. A nice finish there by Trevor Hamlet.
That's Hummer from 6, and he drives it there.
And Ian Hummer's another guy who can finish off the glass pretty well. We've talked about how Hummer, I mean, coming off a game against Fremont last night, Nate, 18 points, 5 blocks. A guy who, great lineage as far as basketball. This guy, his father and uncle played for Princeton and had chances in the end, but he comes from a good line.
Well, that was a good line up there as well. James Johnson, as he drains a 3. 12-11's the score now with Gonzaga in the lead. There's Hummer dealing against Phillip, puts on the floor, drive, slam. Oh, he tried to slam, he misses it there. The rebound put back by Johnson.
Well, Ian Hummer misses the baseline dunk there. Finally bailed out by his teammate, Cam Johnson. That's the type of miss that'll hurt your back for weeks.
The blocking foul is going to be called against Cam Johnson as James Johnson of Bishop Loughlin tried to drive baseline.
Well, James Johnson, obviously, with his performance against Roman Catholic, 29 points, including 3 threes from the outside. He's an inside-outside threat, probably the best all-around player. And it's going to be a real key for Gonzaga to keep pressure on him and not allow him easy looks.
Well, on the inbounds, Johnson, who was flying towards the Gonzaga bench, he got bumped by Rodney Gold, but it's called out of bounds to be Gonzaga basketball. On the inbounds, it'll be Thornton taking it from Cam Johnson. 14-11 to score, 2:28. Let's go here in the first quarter. Thornton dealing against James Johnson. That's Bishop Loughlin in a man. Cam Johnson putting on the floor, right-hand dribble, looks underneath the Hummer. His layup is partially blocked by Lamb, knocked out of bounds, and it will be Bishop Loughlin basketball. Nice block by Lamb.
Sure was down there. Good pressure by Lamb and Devin Elliott converging on Hummer as he was going up an easy layup and got a good clean block on him. So Hummer's not used to getting that much pressure down low in the blocks.
So Bishop Loughlin with the basketball. Michael Lloyd tries to work it down low, gets it in Hamlet. Back to Lloyd, over to Hamlet, puts on the floor, tries to lay it up off the glass, and good as he knocked down Kenny. And Hamlet has 4 points.
Hamlet's one of those good power forwards who's a good player from short range. Their time knocks it in with the move and knocks it in off the glass.
Here's Thornton, tries to get it to Kenny, knocked up into the air, Lamb, and he goes out of bounds with it.
Good effort there by Bishop Loughlin, but they couldn't come up with a turnover here as Cam Johnson inbounds.
There's Gold double team now as Loughlin switches to his own. Thornton pops from 12, no good. Kenny with a putback is no good, knocked out of bounds, and it will be Bishop Loughlin basketball.
Kenny a little bit of going down hard. Was looking for a call, didn't get it, and then the officials give it back over to Bishop Loughlin.
Where's Lamb, crosses timeline up against Gold. Now Gonzaga in the man defense. James Johnson, baseline, pops a 3, off the iron, no good. Tipped up into the air. Thornton has a shot at it, gets held. No foul call. He throws it right back into the hands of Devin Elliott. Underneath it goes to Hamlet, who lays it up and gets the foul. Well, Javon Hamlet right now is 6'6", junior.
Well, Ham's a guy that is coming as a junior, got some playing time last season. It's really stepped up his play, particularly that time we saw around the basket. And he'll go line here, coming off a nice game last night against Roman Catholic, 11-point performance. And he gets a lot of those points down there on low posts, and that's what he did on the last bucket.
Well, coaches Bishop Loughlin squad as Hamlet completes a 3-point play. There's Gold, gets underneath to Kenny. Kenny lays it up, no good, but a foul called. And he'll be going to 9.
Good transition attempt there by Gonzaga with Gold out in front. Get it to Kenny, who's such a good slasher to the basket. And we talked a little bit about Kenny before the game being one of these crucial guys. You know, he's got an athletic body, recruited by Marquette, Georgetown, Maryland, and George Mason, but he took a smaller school named Harvard.
Oh, okay. That gives him a better shot at the NBA, right?
Well, if you ask James Brown, it does, I guess, right?
Yes, indeed. Well, Kenny gets the first. And he gets the second or two as well. Max continue 4. There's Lamb on the floor. Stops fadeaway jump 6. Off the iron, no good. Going up high for it and draining it, getting it down to Cedric Lindsey. He's coming up the floor, looks, gets it old, around inside to Kenny. One step, lays it up and around and good.
Real quick move there by Kenny again on the glass. Down the near blocks. A nice layup.
Now coming the other way, down underneath the goal. Puts it up, misses there, knocked around. Kenny has it, leading the break now for the Purple Eagles. There's Kenny, left-hand dribble, right-hand dribble, and there's going to be a foul called down on the floor. The Purple Eagles lead this one 18-16.
It's really been a back-and-forth matchup, Nate, but Gonzaga's starting to emerge as a little bit more trying to push the ball up court quickly, getting some fast break opportunities, trying to create those mismatches. They've been doing that a lot with Kenny out in front.
Cam Johnson inside, gets it a Hummer, puts it up, no good. Rebound knocked up into the air, down to the floor, is going to be picked up. Hummer has it, gets two guys up in the air, puts up, good! What a great move by Hummer, as he got both Javon Pinkston and Michael Lloyd up in the air.
And how about the fake by Hummer, going up on a nice entry pass, gets the ball down there on the blocks and uses the head fake, gets two defenders up in the air, creates contact, and then finishes off the glass. He misses everything on the foul shot. That kind of looked like one of my foul shots out there. But
indeed. Well,
he's probably tired from all those tough layups.
He's a junior. Does that help?
I don't know if that'll help Coach Turner's assessment in practice.
That means he's only been playing for 10 years. Well, 2016 to score, 25-7. There's Pinkston, tries to lob it underneath, gets it inside for the layup, Trevin Hamlet. Hamlet with 10 points now in the first half unofficially.
That's one of those guys that doesn't get a lot of the press that some of his counterparts do. Looks like we get a kick ball here.
Nate.
Contact on Lloyd.
All right, Stephen Monica's downstairs. Let's talk to him right now.
Nate, I'm over here on your left. I have with me young Jack Creamer. And what makes Jack Creamer a little bit out of the ordinary, he's a third, no, look up here, Jack. He's a third grader at St. Mary's up in Rockville. And what do you want to do when you get into ninth grade? You want to play sports for Gonzaga? What a guy. Can I hear you say, man for others?
All right.
Back to you. Thanks, Nate.
Thank you. Thank you, Stephen. Of course, that might not be the only interview that young man does, huh?
I think he's got a future.
Well, the buzzer sounded, which means 2018's the score now. Gonzaga leads here in this championship game of the Gonzaga DC Classic. It looks like it's set up to be a classic. This is unusual for a Gonzaga Purple Eagle team, at least from what we've seen over here. This is the most running they've ever done in the first quarter, I think, in an entire season.
Well, this team is a little bit set up differently from, I think, some of the recent predecessors, Nate. They've got a much more youthful, athletic team than they have in the past, and they're going to push the ball up the court a little bit more. Some of the more up-tempo teams, like your DeMathis, like your McNamara's, like your Carrolls in the league, and try to get the ball up quickly. Not really much. You look at the classic teams coached by Dick Myers. He was more of a half-court set. He liked to slow the game down, run his offense. I think Coach Turner knows that he's got a lot of young, and he wants to see if they can run with it.
Let's go downstairs again to Stephen Monica.
They're playing with a vengeance, too, though. It's a young team. We don't have many seniors, and therefore the future is now and for a couple of years to come.
There's a lot of teams in the WCAC like that. It's again, we look at McNamara with their youth, and then DeMath as well. With I call them a bunch of young greyhounds.
They've got a lot of young, but talented.
Hummer underneath again, goes cross court. Kenny, right side three-pointer, yes.
Good square up that time from the baseline jumper. Kenny gets a nice look at the basket, and that's going to really open things up for his teammates if he continues to find an outside threat like that.
It's 23-18 to score. Bishop Loughlin with the basketball. Here's James Johnson. Gets it around to Devin Elliott. Back up high right ball, knocked around, out of bounds, and went off the hands of Elliott as Cedric Lindsey cut off the pass lane. And Gonzaga basketball.
I think Elliott had some trouble just grabbing a hold of that ball, getting a handle on that one. So Gonzaga takes back over quickly.
Okay, left side three. This time he drains it
gets
there as
contact
well.
and knocks him free.
Oh, my goodness. Well, it makes it 26-18 to score. There's Phillip trying to answer. Doran Lamb trying to answer back, and they can shoot the pill up there in New York, by the way, folks.
Yeah, Doran Lamb is one of those guys we talked about how great of a performance he had. Was second scorer last night against Roman Catholic, and there shows you his outside game as well.
There's Cedric Lindsay. Holds, looks. As Cameron Johnson lanes into it. It's going to be offensive foul called. That's the second foul against Cam Johnson as he knocked down Pinkston.
Cam Johnson thought he was in the running across the middle on the gridiron. That one just knocking Bishop Loughlin players down, but that time gets called with the player control charge. So they'll take back over.
Cam Johnson is just about doubled over and is going to the bench. Trey's going to take a look at him. It's James Johnson for Bishop Loughlin. Now Elliott gets it around the Lamb. Lamb puts on the floor, and he walked with it as he tried to get around Michael Hannigan. And it'll be Hannigan on the inbounds for the Gonzaga. 26-21 with 6:22 left to go in the half. Cedric Lindsay and Bishop Laughlin's been in that man for a while, and it's working for him as Johnson knocked it away. He's going to take it away now. Holds up high right, goes underneath the layup off the glass and good.
A great reach and steal that time by James Johnson. Was able to knock it to his teammate and then convert off the glass. A good job with the pressure at half court.
Wesley Dunning again. The ball's going to be taken away. Lamb has it underneath the basket. He'll lay it up and good. All right, that's 2 turnovers and 4 points right now for Bishop Loughlin.
2 easy buckets, and Gonzaga then
and they
turns it over again.
Third turnover. This time knocked him out of bounds. Nelson's going to be safe. Kenya has it now. Top of the key. Goes in the paint. Right side. Throws it off the glass. No good. The put back by Hummer.
Well, Hummer really bails out. A tough shot that time by Kenny from 6 feet out. A really tough jump shot in the lane, and really just got all the backboard at that point.
Pinkston had it the knock away. Dunning has it. Now here's Lindsay. Comes in left side. Hands off. Hummer again for the layup. Yes, indeed. Timeout call. That's 10 points for Ian Hummer.
Well, Ian Hummer, you talked about, he really adds a lot as far as that guy who's just got great hands and a good touch when he's about 6 to 10 feet in within the basket. That time, a nice finish off the glass on the cut.
Well, now Stephen Monica's taking his life in his hands. He's over there by the student section, so let's go to him right now.
These guys are great, man. I got with me Brian Melody, rugby player extraordinaire. What do you think about this, Brian?
It's a good game so far.
It is. And you know what? What a great bunch of guys in the bleacher section. What the guys officially call bleacher bums. You're missing your bass drum, though.
Can't use it this season because WCSC rules ban in gyms.
This isn't the WCAC game. Back to you, fellas. Thanks very much, Brian.
All right, while Stephen Monica, debates the WCAC rules, we'll get back
let the lawyers work that one out, right?
That's right. Doran Lamb has it. Around the horn it goes. Elliott pops a 3, and it's in and out, and around and off, down and knocked out of bounds. Well, that's unfortunate if that's a WCAC rule. I kind of missed that Gonzaga drum. I mean, obviously we work with DeMatha, but, all the more noise at the Carmody Center, the better.
Oh, definitely. You like to get the fans involved, and that takes away a little bit of the fan.
Hummer again with a layup.
A nice pass out to Hummer, who's just been unstoppable down there in the low post area on these breaks.
And the ball knocked around, and the Gonzaga Purple Eagles take over, leading 32-25 with 4:51 left in the first half. Here's Dunning. He gives it to goal with 4:47 left, clock running. Left-hand dribble, gives it up to Kenyon. He's gotten hot as well, high left side. Up top, Dunning, around the Hummer. Goal again, drives baseline, stops, pumps it up, around no good, had to partially block. Elliott comes up with a rebound now for the Lions. Could be up the floor, there's Doran Lamb. Gets around to James Johnson, stops, that's the left elbow shot, no good. Rebound down on the floor in the baseline as Lamb goes up with it. Hannigan gets him on the wrist for the foul.
Bishop Laughlin's a little down as far as the scoreboard. They've been doing an excellent job of getting players quickly to those offensive missed shots and getting quickly to the boards. That time, a nice job. Number 20, Deron Lamb, the talented sophomore, who played as a freshman last season as a starter, which is pretty rare as you look at teams up in the New York Catholic High School Athletic Conference. A lot of, really, most players don't really break the roster until they're sophomores and juniors.
Well, all the great schools up there with Rice and, of course, St. Raymond's, as mentioned. There's Kenny, high right side, puts on the floor, stops. Going to be a blocking foul called.
Time Kevin Phillip, the talented senior forward, at the time trouble getting his feet set on the interior pass, and Gonzaga takes back over after the contact.
Dunning on the inbounds. Looks, Hannigan's going to be taken away. Taken away by Trevor Hamlin. And here's Phillip. Brings it around the horn. Lamb holds Elliott. Puts on the floor, drives one step, puts up the layup, is no good. The rebound, put back is around and good by Hamlet.
Nice job by Hamlet again around the basket. He's been there all game long.
Go to Hannigan.
But Gonzaga makes him on the other end for not getting quickly on defense.
There's Lamb, shot blocked by Hummer, but it's going to be a foul call, and it looks like that may go against Dunning. They're getting a call that one against Hummer. Ian Hummer didn't touch anything with the ball.
Well, he was in the vicinity of the drive by Deron Lamb, so he gets called with the contact, even though quite questionable call.
Well, Lamb.
Another one was talented guys who made the roster as a freshman last season. Now as a sophomore, 6'4" guard, and just really good. He's got a really good outside shot, a really good three-point threat as well.
Good stroke on the line as well, and he 13 points unofficially, with making the score 34-30. There's Kenny, high right side, tries to get it over to Hummer, and it rolls out of bounds.
Tough angle on that baseline pass that time. Kenny trying to go over to Hummer underneath the basket, just couldn't come up with enough real estate to get that ball inbounds to Hummer, and that one goes back over.
And the ball went way out of bounds there.
I think it went into the locker room.
Yeah. Nate Lewis, Matt Genocora, Stephen Monica with you here at the Stafford Pop Cassell Court on the campus of American University, Bender Arena, in the championship game of the Gonzaga DC Classic. Here's Lamb. Gives it to Elliott, back to Lamb, holds, gets double teamed now. Here's Gonzaga backing up into a 2-3 zone. There's Lamb, works over to Elliott, high left side, Hannigan on him, 3:16 left. James Johnson, Lamb, stutter step, and he walked with it. That's the second time he got called with that.
Young player, Deron Lamb, trying to make things happen for his team. There, a little bit of an extra step. And turnover for Gonzaga, see if they can capitalize and try to close out this first half with the margin of the lead.
Cool, nice give and go inside out with partially blocked. There goes Lamb, holds. It's like got his hands on it. Back over to James Johnson. Lamb, 2:48 left, 34-30 remains the score. There's Phillip, dealing against Hummer at the foul line. Round the horn goes Johnson, pops just inside the arc, in and out, and then a rebound Hummer. Goes over the goal, quickly up the floor. Dunning underneath the basket, gets a man in the air, puts it off the glass and good.
Well, good recognition that time by Wesley Dunning, who had run the fast break effectively, got out in front, and a tough reverse layup that time, finishes off the glass on the high glass.
Gonzaga extends the lead, 36-30 now. Here's James Johnson. And it's going to be a foul call. That's going to go against Hannigan.
Hannigan gets called with another reach in on the penetration. So Johnson's obviously had more of a quiet game than he had last Gonzaga Catholic with that 29-point performance, but still a player that the Eagles really have to be concerned with as far as getting pressure on him, not allowing him easy looks at the basket.
And getting the first to Johnson. And for Johnson, that's his 4th point. Well, after this, of course, and the 21st Friday, they have St. John's at home, and then they'll be headed to the Rotary Roundball Classic. Over the holidays, as many of these teams will be doing some holiday shopping, as it were, for wins.
Most of these teams, yeah, definitely in some holiday tournaments and traveling over the holiday breaks.
Yep. There's Dunning holds. 36-32. That's Kenny underneath. That's taken away by James Johnson. He'll push it up the floor. Does not have the numbers. Hold top of the key. Gives over to Lambs. Puts up a good.
Well, Loughlin really run that fast break effectively, particularly when they have a numbers advantage. That time, a nice finish that time down low by the guard.
There's Hummer. He's in trouble, and the whistle blows. Going to be walking the call. That was a good job of help defense coming over. Number 11, Antoine Brown, to help out Pinkston.
Yeah, Pinkston and Brown converge down there in the blocks down there. Ian Hummer, they do a great job tying him up. He's trying to find an open cutter to the basket, and he winds up turning the ball over.
There's Johnson. That's Lamb. Holds up high left. Gives it back to Johnson. Again, there's Gonzaga in that matchup zone. 1:26 left in the quarter. There's Antoine Brown. Drives, double pumps it up. High off the glass. No good. The putback by Phillip.
A nice put by Phillip. Game up there with Loughlin making a run here at the end of the first half.
Gold crossing over, dealing against Antoine Brown. 1:08 left. Go near the half-court circle. Come over left side, gives it over to Cedric Lindsay, who drives, puts it up, no good, and the rebound easy down. Here comes James Johnson, has the numbers, stops, puts it up, shot blocked by Kenye, and is hit it out of bounds.
Kenji almost jumped out of the chair on that block. Showed you what he could do there offensively. A nice timing on the way up on the dribble penetration.
Kenny's playing like he had a fight with his girlfriend.
Well, definitely he's found a spark here in this game, and he's been a real integral part of this Gonzaga team, who's now down to a run here, giving up about straight points to this Bishop Loughlin team.
There's Antoine Brown. Around the horn, it goes down to James Johnson. Back up to Brown, almost knocked out of bounds. Holds 35 seconds left to go in the half, all locked up at 36. Antoine Brown behind his back. Gives it back over to James Johnson, dealing against Hannigan. Again, there's Gonzaga in the zone, 27 seconds. Trying to deal, puts a little shoulder, ball knocked up into the air. As Lamb gets down to Phillip against Kenny. Turnaround jumper is around the rim and no good. 19 seconds left, Gonzaga and Hummer with the rebound.
Good rebound there by Hummer, who clears out and gets that ball down there with 10 seconds left. Gonzaga's in a hurry here.
There's 8 seconds. There's Hannigan, gives it to Hummer up the top of the key. Hummer looks, tries to work it. Kenny's going to be taken away. Seconds left. Here's James Johnson, knocking by Lindsay with a half second, and that's the way the half will end, with the teams trading turnovers. All locked up at 36 here in this Gonzaga DC Classic. We'll be back with halftime activities in just a moment. 36 all, Gonzaga and Bishop Loughlin in the championship game of the Gonzaga DC Classic. And it's brought to you by All In Broadcasting. But before we go to that, let's go downstairs to Stephen Monaghan.
Actually, I'm right over to your right. I have with me Sister Seaton, of whom does a great many good works and is pretty much the actual kingpin, I guess I should say, of all of our service projects. How are you?
I'm great.
I'm glad to see you, and more so than that, I'm glad that these things are rolling the way of Gonzaga service projects for this DC Classic.
But we also know that we couldn't do it without the Fathers Club and all the love and time and support that they've given for this now for the last 19 years. We could not do it without you, so thank you.
And you know what? Not going to be a teenager much longer.
I know it.
Let's see, they'd be in college right about now. But I'm so glad to see you here. It's great works for basketball. It's terrific. I appreciate all you do.
Oh, well, thank you. It's mutual.
Back to you, folks.
Thank you very much. And now we're going to go downstairs for a tradition here in the Gonzaga DC Classic. The presentations, and we will turn it over downstairs. Mike Keller Scholarship Award be given to a deserving young man, and of course right to his left, as you see him right there, is Father Novotny, the president of Gonzaga College High School. Well, we had an extended conversation with him about this Gonzaga DC Classic, and let's go to that right now.
Good afternoon, I'm Will Pisano, and I'm here with Father Novotny and Stefan Monica at Gonzaga for the 19th annual DC Classic. Father, 19 years and going, supporting the service projects at Gonzaga. Where does all the money go from the Classic, and how does it help to promote the service projects?
Well, I think the motto of the tournament says it all: great basketball supporting good works. And good works in this case are the community service projects and programs that Gonzaga students run, beginning right here on the campus underneath St. Al's Church, the Father Horace McKenna Center, which is a soup kitchen, a homeless shelter in the winter months, and taking it out beyond our campus through McKenna's Wagon and Food and Friends, and then also the tutoring that we do farther afield in the Washington, D.C. area. And of course, there are the various community service trips, including to Appalachia, Millersburg, Maryland, the Red Cloud, Indian Mission, Congress, South Dakota, our sister Jesuit institution, the Dominican Republic, Guatemala, volunteers in Philadelphia VIP, which is also includes Camden, New Jersey, in that. And there's also, more recently, a trip to New York City, which is similar to the VIP.
Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1.
All those things take funds, take money to get people there, and to buy equipment, and to buy goods that are going to be used by the people that are being helped. And that's what, in brief, this tournament does.
Thanks. And Mr. Monica, so heading up the Fathers Club, and so how exactly is the Fathers Club involved in
We
the
just
Classic?
provide every iota of support we can to get the teams. We have several fathers that are team hosts when the teams come off the plane, come into DC, make sure everything is just picture perfect leading up to, through the events, and to make sure they get back home okay. There's all kinds of facets to make this run. Here at Gonzaga, Friday night and Saturday and Sunday at American University, lots of support by the Fathers Club. Just it rolls out, the guys show up, and we just roll up our sleeves and kind of sort of like this and let her rip. But it just making sure everybody's comfortable. They have a white tour. I believe it's tomorrow.
We're playing your
very gracious about all
Alan Novotny interview right now. All right.
It's a well-tuned machine. The DC Classic's been going on 19 years, like you say, and gee whiz, I'm happy to be part of this last 4 years.
Helps great basketball for terrific works in the community and around the world, around the globe, basically.
Right.
Well, I could just add another aspect of the tournament. You know, it is supporting the good works of students, but it also, with funds, but it also provides a powerful example to students to see these dads doing all the work that they're doing to make the tournament a success each year. And you know, there are many dads that keep coming back year after year, long after their sons have graduated.
Pick buttons in the way.
So deeply in the mission of this tournament and, of course, of the school.
Thank you. Well, you guys are doing an awesome job. Now, I'll let you guys go before we head over to the game. Any predictions on the Classic?
You first, sir.
Well, all I can say is that the Gonzaga Eagles are 5-0 at this point, and, coming off a big win against a local competitor. So I think we're feeling good about our chances. But this is a quality field, literally from around the country. So anything can happen.
And it's always a lot of fun when all the different kids come. And I'm glad to say that this particular piece, as well as others, there are parents that can't afford to come from like Fresno, California, but they can see this on the web. That's marvelous, Father.
Thanks to you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, Mr. Monica, you're being a little non-committal about your predictions here.
I like Gonzaga, but you know I'm supposed to maintain an even keel on my enthusiasm. But I love this home team, boys. I'll tell you.
Are you hosting one of the teams?
No, I'm not this year. I'm gonna help with the webcast a bit.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your time. Let's head over to the game. Thank you.
Thank you, Will.
Great.
Back out again, so get ready for second half action. But let's once again go over to Stephen Monica.
Thank you, Nate. I've got with me Don McGrath. And Don McGrath looks like a mild-mannered type of fellow, but you know what? He's done wondrous deeds for the DC Classic. He is the go-to guy as far as all the emails came out for all the information that's gotten disseminated by all the committees and everything. How are you today, good sir?
Very well, Stephen. Thank you.
I like this outfit. He's got a Gonzaga basketball hat, the DC Classic shirt. He's rocking and rolling. Who do you think is going to win this game?
Gonzaga's got its work cut out for us, but in the end, I think we'll pull it out.
There you go. Thank you, Don. Thanks for all you do. Back to you, Nate.
Thank you very much. Back to action now, and it will be Bishop Loughlin with the basketball going from right in front of us. All locked up at 36. There's James Johnson. He had a pretty good first half. Gets it up top to Michael Lloyd. Works it around to Phillip. Back up to Johnson. Pump fakes just inside the arc. Shot blocked by Hummer. And then knocked right into the hands of Pinkston. And he has it blocked from behind by Kenny. Cam Johnson comes up with the ball. Now he loses it. He's able to get it back now in the backcourt. Needs help. Gets it over around to Thornton. He gets fouled. It's going to go against Doran Lamb.
Good pressure that time by Doran Lamb, trying to create the turnover. But Cam Johnson holds on to it, and he gets contact on number 1, Tyler Thornton, who was trying to get that pass underneath the basket. Right now, it looks like Gonzaga really, kind of was stinging a little bit coming off of that last run by Bishop Loughlin where they really were able to press at half court, create a lot of turnovers, then some easy transition buckets at the other end. They sealed off about an 8-point deficit to tie it up at 36. Gonzaga needs to get back into also pushing the ball up the court quickly, and then again, they need to find out if they can get the ball down to their big men in Ian Hummer and Tyler Thornton down there in the block, pick up on this undersized Bishop Loughlin team.
Well, still locked up at 36. Need to get the score here. The top scorer, Ian Hurt, with 16 points in that first half. They're really working under the boards. He's in at the post position right now, going up against Phillip. Here's Thornton with the basketball. That's Gonzaga with the basketball now. Thornton at the foul line. Tries to get over the goal. It's going to be knocked out of bounds by Michael Lloyd.
Saved by Paul DeStefano down there.
All right.
Doing a little scouting.
Yes,
I'm
indeed.
sure.
Of course, the head coach of the St. John's Cadets. There was WCSC runner-up last year, and there's Hummer driving to the basket. Misses there, but a foul call.
And that's why you really got to like Ian Hummer's game. You know, the 6'6" junior, he moves great without the basketball and also makes great cuts to the basket, as we saw in that last play. You know, he just made a great cut, got in between two defenders, and then got contact on the way up as he nails the first foul shot. And it shows you why he puts up production. You know, he might not be the quickest player out there, but just good, fundamentally sound player, especially down there in the paint.
And the second offering by Hummer's miss. Thornton had a shot at it, knocked out of bounds. It'll be Lions basketball. Ian Hummer now with 17 points, 37-36 the score. And Gonzaga with the lead now, 7:04 left. There's a little lazy pressure being put on right now by Gonzaga, trying to make the Lions work a little harder here. And Lloyd drives the rear, banks it in.
Now, tough shot that time by Lloyd, just inside the foul line, nails it off the glass, a hard shot, and looks like Gonzaga's to turn the ball over
again. Is Lloyd with another shot at it, and he drains it there as well.
Eagles having trouble getting the ball up court, and that's continued from late in the first half.
There's Hummer dealing against. Back up to Cam Johnson, high left side, stutter steps, deals against Phillip as well. Hummer from the left elbow, he puts up no good. Rebound down on the floor. Phillip comes up with it, gives over to Lamb. And Lamb on his side of the floor, high right side, lost the handle on it out of bounds. It'll be Gonzaga basketball.
Good defense there, timed by Rodney Gould, that time out there on Lamb on the wing. Gets pressure on him, and he steps on the end line.
Good job there. He just simply denied his sideline and didn't get too excited, try to do too much there, and just simply watched it roll out of bounds. So now there's Gold driving basket, and he'll put up a layup. No good, foul called. I think that's going to be a third against Phillip.
That's a big foul against Kevin Phillip. We talked about him being one of those high-flying forwards who's got a nice touch around the basket. Player who's been given a college offer by Drexel next season, so obviously very talented, and Gould will take a couple chances here.
I think they'll make him cut the dread.
Depending on how he plays.
That's right. He hits the first there.
Rodney Gould, the 5'10" point guard, the senior out of Fort Washington, Maryland. Also a very good running back for the Eagles football team this season.
Yeah. And misses the second off. Pinkston comes up with the rebound. Quickly up the floor now. Here's Lamb. Looks. Gets it around now to Lloyd.
Can I tell you guys something, though?
All right. Yes, indeed.
Max Keny's going to Harvard.
Yep.
Number 23. And he's a smart kid, and he's a regular guy, too. Yep.
He happens to be one of the best forwards in the area. 5:54 left, and there's a miss. Rebound comes down to Thornton. Gives over to Kenny. High right side, drives, throws it up. No good, but a foul called. I think that's going to go against Lloyd.
Good penetration move that time by Max Kenny, who we were just talking about. You know, he's got just this really quick move to the basket, a long body, and it tries to get a left-handed bank shot off the glass and gets the contact on the way up. We talked about this player. You know, a lot of big Division I schools, including local schools, were interested in him. And you know, obviously going for one of those Ivy Leaguers who they don't offer athletic scholarships. So this is, you know, based on his academic performance and his abilities, you know, outside of the court.
And he drains the second as well. And I think you have to have a certain academic focus as well to get Ivy League school.
I don't think you and I combined could get into one.
No, not at all. I could drive by one though. Here's Elliott. High left, drives, and has it knocked away from him by Hummer. Able to get it back through a floater, partially blocked. Kingston has it blocked away by Kenny. Into the hands of Lamb. He throws up a runner and he drains there.
And Lamb has just been a real force for this team as far as getting those mid-range shots. It knocks him down. Here's Hummer.
Here's Hummer. Drives, bank shot, no good. Maybe partially blocked by Phillip. A little help from Pinkston. Lamb is going to go coast to coast. Gets it underneath the Elliott. Double pumps up, shot blocked by Kenny down the floor. Kenny takes it away. 42-39 to score. And the ball knocked around out of bounds. And it will be purple basketball with 5:03 left to go in the third. It's championship game of the Gonzaga DC Classic. Here live from Bender Arena on the campus of American University. And here's Gould bringing it up now as Loughlin picks him up in the man half court. Thornton. High left side in front of the Gonzaga bench, crossing over. James Johnson gets it back over to Hummer. High right side, now over to the left. Around the horn goes to Kenny from Gould. Back to Cam Johnson, right side three-pointer. Way long, rebound down to Hummer. He had a shot at it. Johnson takes it away, and now easy pickings for Pinkston.
Too easy transition basket there for Bishop Loughlin. That's not a good play by the Gonzaga Eagles, who got burnt badly, not getting anyone back defensively. That kind of basket they can't afford to give up. They don't have enough team speed to match up against those type of transition shots.
Pinkston, that's his first points in the game. Here's Hummer, looks for help, gives it to Gold near the baseline. He'll hold and drive it up now with 4:05 left. There's Cam Johnson, high left, now up top to Hummer. .355 left. There's Cam Johnson to Kenny. Tries to work it out, and he's going to be taking away Phillip. There's Johnson, holds. Ball knocked away, and Elliott able to come up with it, spins it away. Pinkston drives, goes up a runner, gets it, but it's an offensive foul call.
Well, good entry pass that time down to number 23. And Javon Pinkston cutting the basket, but player control foul on the way up, gets a little contact with the defender. And a break for Gonzaga as they've suffered a 5-point run here, down by 5, 44-39. So they've got to make a comeback as far as getting some better looks at the basket, not going one and out on these offensive series.
There's Gold, gets around Cam Johnson up at the top, and gets it inside now to Thornton, who puts up all the last too strong, and rebound knocked around. Hamlet gives over to Johnson. Now back to Lamb, backing up towards the half-court line. Goes up top now. Around to Lloyd. Now check that Hamlet. To Elliott, no good. Rebound, put back is going to be slammed in by Phillip.
Oh, great follow by the 6'7" senior Kevin Phillip after the miss. And that's what Bishop Loughlin team's been doing a better job of than the Eagles. It's been the follow-ups on the rebounds, both on the offensive and defensive glass. That time a great follow and dunk.
And the ball coming inside to Thornton is going to be a foul call. That's going to go against Lamb.
Right now, you got to question Gonzaga Eagles shot selection on in this third period. They've just been taking some ill-advised shots, trying to make some tough angles and not really getting high percentage looks. Right now, they got to settle things down because they've been giving up straight points here in the second half.
There's Gold. Gets it as Hannigan from 12. That drains it right there. Hannigan, that's his fourth point. Makes it a 5-point lead now for the Lions of Loughlin. 46-41 to score. There's James Johnson up at the top. Goes high right now. Elliott. And it's going to be a blocking foul called.
Devin Elliott on the penetration.
Yeah. It's Cam Johnson.
Elliott with a crossover dribble gets Cam Johnson tied up. Gets contact Johnson, so another team foul against Gonzaga.
Well, down to 24 left.
Oh, great inbounds play. That time finished off by 21.
48-41 to score now. Here's Hummer. Has baseline, puts it up off the glass and good. What a nice move because he got around Phillip.
When you need a score down low, you got to give it to Ian Hummer because he's very constant and very steady down there on the paint.
Lead now is 5. Here's Antoine Brown. Gets around James Johnson. Double team by Thornton. Gets it back over around to Brown. To Elliott, puts on the floor. He stutter step, he walked. Big opportunity now for the Gonzaga Purple Eagles with 1:52 left.
Some full court pressure being employed now by the Lions.
And Gold's going to try to press it now with 1:47 left. Gold crossing over Brown, gives it to Hummer on the left elbow, looks for help, gets around to Kenny at the foul line, drives, puts it up, short runner, no good, rebound put back and in by Wesley Dunning. But Dunning, that's his 4th point, and it's a 3-point lead.
One of his biggest shots there by the 6'8" senior, Wesley Dunning, in good position on the miss.
James Johnson, left side 3-pointer, is going to be off the iron, around the horn, down it goes, and comes in. Going to be a push by Phillip. That's going to be an intentional foul. That was a temporary brain drain for Phillip right there.
Yeah, Kevin Phillip, the senior forward that time for the Lions, just a straight push, trying to get frustration on the rebound, and you typically don't do that right in front of the official. You want to save that when he's not looking, but he gets called for it. So
Dunning, the 6'6" senior, shots on the way, swishes that through, and this is an opportunity here. Dunning obviously right now taking advantage of it. You certainly want to make Bishop Loughlin pay, and pulls within 1, and it does happen. 48-47 to score, and the Purple Eagles will have the basketball.
Big swing of the momentum there for Gonzaga, getting some points down there when the clock was stopped off the easy free throws.
And it's Thornton to bring it up at the point. Right-hand dribble dealing against James Johnson. 1:07 left. He goes in the paint, puts it up, shot blocked, around it goes. And Hamlet put a big hit near the backboard. 59 seconds left. Ball tipped away. It'll be Brown for 3. No good. But with the rebound, there's going to be a foul call. And that's going to go against Dunning. Dunning got that arm around Phillip.
Dunning and Phillip battling again down there underneath. It's been a good matchup all game long, these two. Both number 21s for the opposing teams going against each other. Good matchup of size and on the rebounds.
Long inbound, Elliott, about 35 feet out now, gets around to the half-court circle to Brown. Brown right-hand dribble, dealing against Thornton. Gives it up, Johnson, back up near the half-court circle. 40 seconds left to go here in the third. There's Johnson up the top, Brown, I want to go. Elliott, he holds, deals against Thornton. Down to 32 seconds left. It's James Johnson again, drives, has it knocked away from him. It's going to be a foul called.
Johnson on the penetration move down the lane. And Thornton gets another one. So, again, these team fouls for the Eagles are starting to pile up little by little.
James Johnson with 4 points unofficially. Misses there.
Johnson's one of those really talented senior point guards. One of the leaders on this team who just got a really quick player, tough to stop one-on-one in the open court as the Eagles and some of the other teams in the conference, particularly Roman Catholic, found out about how tough he is when he gets that first step on you. He either seems to get the foul or get a bucket out of it.
It's a second or two there. 2-point lead now, 49-47 to score, 26 seconds left. We're in the third quarter. It'll be Cedric Lindsay. All right, now holds, gives it over to Gold with 13 seconds. There's Hummer near the end line, now dribbles towards the top of the key, gives it to Gold. Gold goes baseline, underneath it goes to Kenny, and he lays it up good. And we're all tied at 49 with 3 seconds left. James Johnson puts it down, throws it up from half court. It is short. And we're all locked up at 49 here in the championship game of the Gonzaga DC Classic. Let's go down to Steph and Monica.
Nate, I appreciate it. I've got with me a guy that really did a journeyman's job in this position all weekend. Lance Ford, that's who I'm talking.
Thanks, Stephen. We've had a lot of fun doing this webcast.
This is great stuff, and it brings home to parents like you and I who can't afford a plane trip, like from California, New York, and such. But I appreciate this, and I appreciate your efforts too, man. Many thanks. Many thanks. Thanks. Thanks, buddy. Back to you, Nate. Thank you, buddy.
All right, thank you. That's Lane Ford, of course, without whom you wouldn't be seeing this or hearing this.
That's right, one of the organizers of the tournament, and we talked about, the tournament's just all about great basketball, bringing a lot of teams, but it's also about a lot of the great causes that the Gonzaga community puts on for the DC community. Some of the, so others may eat some of the other projects that Gonzaga's doing. So it's great opportunity for people to see some good basketball for a good cause as well.
I was just looking at Bishop Loughlin's schedule here, and of course after this Gonzaga DC Classic, they go down to Tampa Bay for the Classic there. Archbishop Malloy's on their schedule. St. Francis Prep, Christ the King, St. Brendan's, Rice, and others.
Yeah, that Catholic League
the hot tub schedule right there.
It's not it's not a joke at all.
No, not at all. Let's Gold gets into Kenya in the paint. Stops, puts it up, has a shot blocked from behind by Trevor Hamlet.
So Kenny's been really instrumental on his cuts to the basket all game long. As he gets a contact on the way up, he'll come back to the line. And Kenny out of Silver Spring, Maryland, just a long athletic player, good shot blocker, good slasher to the basket.
Shot a breaking high here for the first time. Shots on the way, drains it there.
A guy who had 7 points against Fremont in last night's game, but probably really stepped up his efforts in this one more. And it's when the Eagles really need that guy, that go-to guy down there in the blocks to get up some, particularly after the missed shots. He's been instrumental in this one.
And he drains the second as well. Now it's a 2-point lead for Gonzaga. 51-49 to score, 7:43. It's underway here in the final frame. Here, a championship game of the Gonzaga DC Classic. Michael Lloyd has knocked up into the air. Kenny comes up with it. Has the numbers, just a moment. Comes up, high right side, gets contact, no foul call. Hummer with the rebound put back.
Well, great recognition by Ian Hummer, the big man who finished his tough runner that time by Kenny off the glass with a nice lay-in. Hummer's just been in the right place at the right time all game long.
There's James Johnson putting on the floor, stops, leans, gives it over to Lloyd, pops three, in there.
Huge three that time by the Lions, who finally break that run of Gonzaga with some outside shooting from the perimeter.
53-52 to score. There's Cedric Lindsay bringing it up. Lindsay stops, looks for help, gives over to Gold, round baseline it goes. Hummer dealing against Pinkston. Tries to go into his basket, gives it back over to Lindsay. Lindsay stops, double pumps it up. Wild shot, puts it in. He pumped around and looped it in.
He gets the underneath scoop that time. That's a tough touch off the baseline from about 4 feet out. And a little bit of luck in that one.
55-52 to score. There's James popping three. Front iron, no good. Rebound comes down to Lindsay.
Gonzaga has an opportunity to take some more time, slow this pace down a little bit. Now that they have a little bit of a lead here, and not give up so many points on the transition.
As Kenny started stepping against Phillip, and it's going to be a foul call. He gets the bucket, but a foul call down on the floor. It's going to be Kenny going to the line as the Purple Eagles are in the bonus. And obviously we've seen Max Kenny here for a couple of years for Gonzaga. And he shot up about an inch as well in height, but more importantly, it looks like he's mentally really, you know, he has pretty much decided, or maybe the coaches helped him decide, he's going to be a leader not only on this team here, but more likely in the WCAC.
Yeah, that's what I've noticed more about Kenny this year than last season, Nate. He's really attacking the basket as far as his first move to it, getting some strong penetration and contact, and he's not afraid to take the contact, which, you know, he's kind of a slighter player, 6'5", 180. He's not going to bowl anyone over, but he's definitely not afraid to get his nose in there and get knocked around a little bit as he's able to make his moves down there in the low post.
And he has an awesome stroke free throw line as he drains them both there. 57-52 to score. 6:13 left. Here's Johnson bringing things up at the point up against Thornton. Crossover dribble, holds, gives over to Elliott. Stutter steps a little bit, does Elliott, knocks down Thornton, and Thornton's going to get called with the block.
Yeah, it's tough to make tough to get that call for Thornton when you're out there in space. And he gets called for that one.
Yeah. So Thornton's going to come out as he commits his fourth foul. 6:02 left. Gonzaga leads this one, 57-52. Elliott gets to Johnson, high left. Now back to Elliott, stripped away by Hummer and taken by Kenny. Wraps it over to Cam Johnson. Now a little full court pressure being put on by Loughlin. Lob underneath the Hummer. He has a start knocked away from him. It'll be a foul called against Elliott.
Right now, Coach Turner's got us really playing some fundamentally sound offensive basketball. They're making good, clean passes, getting into position, and Hummer, he's always around the basket, always ready to catch that ball, and that's what he does there. And he gets contact on the way up, and he'll go to shoot a couple.
Shooting a 1-and-1, he's going to get the roll on this one here. Looked like that was going to fall short.
And he got a rim on that one.
Yeah.
He and Hummer out of Vienna, Virginia.
Well, of course, you might not remember Ian Hummer, folks, from last season. He was the guy that could barely put his shoes on right. I think he's pretty much corrected a lot of things.
Yeah, he's really improved his offensive game over the summer, particularly. He got better playing in summer league basketball, particularly. He's really stepped up.
He's got 20 points. 59-52 to score. 5:40 left to go in regulation. Gonzaga nursing the lead. Around it goes to Lloyd. There's Elliott, puts up the runner, around no good, knocked away, and it's Cedric Lindsey leading the break right now for Gonzaga. Tries to push it over to Cam Johnson, tries to push it back over to Lindsey. Lindsey has Kenny, comes up with it now. Pushes underneath, there's Hummer, one step, puts it up off the glass, no good. The rebound around, put back by Cam Johnson's no good. Pinkston comes up with a rebound. 5-16, that's going to be stolen again by Bowsy. Stops, looks, gives it back over to Gold now. And the fans love the hustle of their Purple Eagles. There's Johnson, almost taken away. Kenny pops, 13-footer. Yes!
Well, you got to love the hustle, as you mentioned, and the patience offensively.
Yep.
Something that's been taking a while for Gonzaga to develop. And as we get down to the 5-minute mark, they finally started to gain a little bit more composure playing against this really athletic, tough team out of Brooklyn.
Let's go to Stephen.
They're earning their keep. Fellas, I tell you what, Gonzaga's digging in deep. They're gonna do okay. You watch.
And as WCAC, of course, shapes up, Matt, this is you got to consider Gonzaga to be one of the front runners there. They've already had a couple of WCAC matchups here. They fared very well.
Yeah, they've done great so far this season, Nate. And I think that speaks to the depth of the 5 starters that they have, particularly with the seniors, Cam Johnson and Kenny. And you look at the wins they've had. They've been successful this season, and you know, I've got to rank them up there as far as the tops with O'Connell, DeMatha, and McNamara.
Yeah.
Those 4 teams probably compete with this thing. We could see a surprise, but they look to be very competitive. And you know, one of the favorites as far as you know, we saw how well they played at DeMatha a couple nights ago. So they've got a lot of senior leadership, and that really bodes well down the stretch in the conference play.
Oh, yeah, that WCAC is wide open. I had a chance to see Paul VI last week. That's a good squad there. Coach Glenn Farello, former Eleanor Roosevelt coach there, taking over the helm there for Levi Franklin. Of course, we saw Bishop O'Connell. They had a big win against DeMatha on Friday night. And these Purple Eagles right now in control, 61-52. Here's James Johnson for the Lions up top. Gets it over to Elliott. Elliott holds. That's Johnson from 14 around the horn. No good. Pinkston rebounds. Put it back up. Kenny comes up behind and blocks. Gold comes up with it. Left-hand dribble. Knocked out of bounds. It'll be Purple Eagle basketball.
Gonzaga is doing a much better job, particularly in this last period, of just getting to those rebounds and protecting the basketball, something they didn't do at the end of the first half and beginning of the second half. They were turning the ball over, not careless with the basketball. Doing a much better job of that.
Here's Gold dealing against Michael Lloyd. At the half-court circle, gets a pick from Cam Johnson. Johnson around the horn now to Lindsey. Lindsey works with the Hummer just inside the foul line and drains it there.
You got to get a hand in Hummer's face anywhere within 10 feet. It's pretty lethal when he's down there at the low post.
Hummer extremely active away from the basketball, and he's just creating opportunities for himself. Here's Goran Lamb, puts for a jumper, no good. Rebound, Lloyd falls out of bounds, and it's going to be, I think we're going to have a foul against Kenny. Yes, Kenny is going to get called with pushing Lloyd out of bounds.
Kenny trying to go for that ball on the baseline. A little overzealous there, trying to make something happen, but you got to admire this Eagles team. They've been running to loose balls and winning a lot of those battles.
Yeah, around it goes now to Johnson. 63-52 to score. There's Lamb, Lloyd, three-pointer, big shot here, and they're not going to get the roll. Knocked around into the hands of Phillip, who puts it up and in.
Well, good follow-up by Phillip. Finally, as the Lions had been settling for perimeter shots and haven't connected in several minutes, they finally get a putback and get some points back on the board.
Here's with 26 left. Left hand gives it to Cam Johnson. Tries to hand it off, knocked up into the air. It's going to be knocked away, foul called. And so that's going to go against Cam Johnson as he tried to get the ball back.
This ball foul was called on the Eagles number 15, Cameron Johnson. Now
that's his fourth foul. So the next foul, the Lions will be in a bonus.
Cam Johnson loses the ball on the turnover and then tries to reach in and grab it. So he turns it back over.
Well, if you're a Loughlin fan right now, you need to run. There's James Johnson, pot of three, missing there. Gold comes over the rebound. Now all of a sudden, nothing dropping from the Lions. Here's Lindsey, has it knocked away from him. Phillip comes up with it, goes way down the floor, way over the head of Lloyd, and is going to go down.
Good pressure picked up in three-quarters court that time by the Lions, but again, they don't take care of it on the other end. And back over to Gonzaga here. And Gonzaga needs to do a much better job of breaking this press here and getting people to help out.
Nate. As Dunning gets it to Lindsey. Lindsey at the top of the key, around to Hummer. Hummer put it on the floor against Phillip. Goes baseline underneath. Lays that up and good and gets in one. Now there's your player of the game. Let's go downstairs now to Stephen Monica.
Thanks, Nate. I got a few guys here. What are your names, fellas?
Mine's Jack Myers. Michael. Charlie.
Look up that way. These are basketball players of the future, fellas. And they're all from right around Bethesda. And they play on the same team. And who do you guys like?
Gonzaga.
It's affirmative. Thanks, fellas.
All right. Maybe they'll be at the foul line here at the American University one day. All right, that's a block by Kenya, but a foul called the other way.
Yeah, it looked like a clean block that time going up, but get some contact. Javon Pinkston, the 6'6" sophomore forward. A nice baseline move there. Get some contact on the way up, so he's hoping he can this deficit.
That's Pinkston at the line. He gets the first, and with what is now an 11-point deficit with 2:27 left, you got to think that the Lions going to need not only points but turnovers.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to go with the press here to try to create some quick opportunities for their offense.
This Hummer works the timeline quickly. Gets triple team, looks for help, and it's going to be whistle blowing. The timeout call, Steve Turner, as he saw Hummer getting in trouble. So timeout with 2:23 left. 10-point lead, 66-56 a score here in this 19th annual Gonzaga DC Classic Championship.
Ladies and gentlemen, at the conclusion of this championship game, please remain in your seats for the naming of the 2007 Gonzaga
Probably one of the more prestigious tournaments in the country, and you know, the only one, Matt, that's being webcast live video around the world.
I mean, that's pretty cutting edge. We haven't seen that as far as most of the all the tournaments that we've covered. So that's something that fans that, particularly with Gonzaga and a lot of the fans of these schools all over the country, have a great opportunity to tune in and see that. So that's a real bonus.
And with the fellas from the floor, with alumni since 1821, a heck of them out there, heck of a lot of them out there.
Well, I think Matt Gillicore is a member of that 1821 class. Come to think of it,
that's how old I feel.
See, that's it. Johnson the other way. Makes it 66-58, and again, here comes her. Gold brings it up. Gets it over to Kenya. Kenya clearly lays it up. No good, but it's going to be a blocking foul called. Yeah, it looks like that one's going to go against Phillip, and make that Pinkston.
Thought Pinkston was in good position underneath. I thought Kenny got lucky that time on his move to basket. He was kind of at a 45-degree angle heading up towards the rim, but he does get the call. I think Pinkston was there just a step late. So Kenny gets another chance here.
I'll tell you what, I'm ready for the WCAC tournament now. Let's just bring it on.
Let's skip the season.
That's right. Let's skip January altogether.
Go right to March.
There's Kenny's second offering as he makes the first, and he drains the second as well. No, he might be purple to charity stripe right now.
He's looked pretty solid.
Yep. There's Pinkston under the basket, leans into it, shot block, foul called. With 1:44 left.
Simon Pinkston, one of those guys who's just very tough to stop in the low blocks there. He's got a good handle on the basketball and also a good outside shot, but really right now the Lions, needing high percentage shots, have been going down low, feeding him the basketball, so he's been able to connect. He hits the first one.
Well, let's be sure to thank all the good folks here with the Gonzaga Fathers Club. Of course, Lane Ford, who put us on the air. And of course,
Lance Ford, thanks.
Lance Ford, sorry, Lance Ford, there we go. Left the E out.
Sorry, Nate.
There you go, all right. And there's Ian Hummer again. 1:29 left, 70-59 to score. As Lloyd thinks about the three. If you're Bishop Loughlin, you need points in a hurry. There's a runner by Johnson and a wild one, and that's
call timeout.
Cam Johnson with the rebound, and he calls a timeout. So it's a full timeout. With that, unless, of course, the Purple Eagles, well, the two things have to happen here. Obviously, Bishop Loughlin's got to go on an incredible run, and the Purple Eagles have got to have an incredible collapse defensively right now.
Oh, you know, I mean, you can't count this Lions team out, Nate. With their outside shooting, especially with James Johnson and Deron Lamb, those guys can get it done quickly. But, you know, at this point, you know, barring that incredible comeback, you got to say the play of Ian Hummer's been really a nice surprise, I think, all season long. I'm sure Coach Turner and staff have seen it for the last couple of years. It just hasn't come to fruition. But now we've seen this guy. He came off the bench last season. Now he's just one of these features that just really, you know, we talked about he's got an uncle and a father that played at Princeton. You could almost see him, you know, getting that invite to Princeton just based on him fitting into that system.
Matt and Nate, if I may interject, Gonzaga is showing why they're number 2 in the area.
Yes, indeed. There's Cam Johnson, 102, as is knocked out of bounds. It'll be Gonzaga basketball. Certainly in control of this one, 70-59. Gets it in now. You expect the Purple Eagles to try to hold on to the basketball. Cam Johnson goes underneath. Got to take that shot. That's for sure. He will.
A good patience by the Eagles offense, and then he found an open man underneath, uncontested. And they've had a lot more success in the second half doing that.
As Johnson pops three, drains it there. And a whistle blows as a timeout called. Bishop Loughlin, and makes 10-point lead with 38 seconds left.
Got to think at this point of the game, they're going to look to James Johnson and Deron Lamb. James Johnson, of course, 3 3-pointers in the game win over Roma. And Deron Lamb, just one of those quality shooters who can really hit from NBA range, really, as a sophomore. So these two guys will get you back in a hurry, but 38, I can't afford too many of these changes down.
Well, you know, the good news is no matter what happens here tonight, it's only the beginning of the season for both of these teams and all the teams in the Gonzaga DC Classic. Just getting a little glimpse of what basketball might be like in the New York area here with Bishop Loughlin. Of course, that great Fremont squad. And of course, the representatives of California, and they show you a style of basketball, what it's like to play high school basketball with a shot clock.
That's a whole different animal there with the shot clock. It just kind of create more up-tempo game and a lot more athletic play, not more of a slowdown.
As Hummer gets it to Cam Johnson, gets collapsed upon. Gold holds up near the scores table. Stutter steps, gives it back to Cam Johnson, backs up now over to Thornton. 27 seconds left, and he gets fouled. And the Purple Eagles stay undefeated with this win.
It's been a good test for the Eagles in this tournament, I think, playing a lot of teams, a lot of the top teams from Philadelphia and New York, of course, and then coming into this one. With Tyler Thornton going back to the line. So Thornton
makes the first.
Only a sophomore, but he's already got a lot of interest from some of the top programs, UVA, Duke, Texas, Wake Forest, ACC schools looking at him just because of his size as a sophomore.
Well, 23 seconds left. It'll be Deron Lamb bringing it down. There's James Johnson, pops for three, no good. Thornton with the rebound, 15 seconds left. Gets it over to Kenny quickly up the floor to Hummer. He's going to hold on to it. 10 seconds. The ball knocked out of bounds as he tries to get it over to Cam Johnson. 8 seconds left. And the Purple Eagles will get a big hand here from the crowd at American University. Kenny knocked up into the air. They'll be taken by Gold with 1 second left. They're going to let him play and let it be over. Your champions of the 2007 Gonzaga DC Classic are the whole school. The Gonzaga Purple Eagles, a little extracurricular activity going on after the game, and that's not the kind of thing you want to see.
That's a whole lot of extra. Not something we usually see out of two prominent schools like this, particularly so.
And now some of the
Deron Lamb
players, Deron Lamb's coming up. Boyd's coming up. Now he's going to go up and they're going to settle things down, and so that'll do it. 73-62 is our final score for Stephen Monica, and of course Matt Gentlecore. I'm Nate Lewis. This has been the Gonzaga DC Classic from All In Broadcasting. Now for our internet audience, stick around, folks, because we're going to have the post-game ceremony for you.
Coming up in just a moment, it's the 2007 Gonzaga DC Classic tournament presentation.
Now the tournament presentation, the all-tournament teams. And more, let's go downstairs to Stephen Monica.
Des? No, there I go. Sorry about that. I was wondering if you need this mic for the presentations, because it's kind of hollow when you have the house amp on.
The answer is yes.
Good idea?
Absolutely. Yes, sir. Yes, indeed. Get the sound. Nothing like doing a production live, huh?
Exactly. Stand by.
Well, as we said, this caps off a great weekend of high school basketball. Certainly from top to bottom, of course, with things starting over at the comfortable confines of the Carmody Center, and then, of course, right here at American University. And now every single one of these teams, as they head home and, of course, take their respective trophies and mementos of this event home with them, Matt, they get to look forward to the rest of their seasons.
Yeah, I mean, both these teams are heading into some holiday tournaments that are going to be good opportunities. I think it's exciting for these high school players to travel, you know, to some different locations to kind of get treated to the college experience that they, you know, that some of them will get to experience next year, depending on where they wind up. We see Coach Leto for UVA in the crowd as the guys who's maybe looking at a few of these players as well. But you know, those tournaments are great for these teams. They play against a lot of different types of styles, different competition throughout the country, and you know, it really doesn't hurt them that much in their own conference. So it's a great opportunity, particularly when things are a little bit slower academically for these schools, you know, between Christmas, New Year's, and then going into January, and then they can get really back down to basics heading into their conference play. You know, I think you know, with the game that we saw with Bishop Loughlin, really, I mean, they played an excellent game, particularly through most of the first half and into the fourth period. They really struggled, I think, matching up with some of the size of Gonzaga and getting some of those rebounds. You know, Gonzaga well coached and did a nice job, particularly on the cuts to the basket. And Ian Hummer, as we talked about, with finishing up with 24 points, just an excellent job of moving without the basketball and making some great cuts and finishes. And he's a tough player to stop, particularly when you try to match him up against one-on-one down there on the low post.
And, you know, a very interesting thing tends to happen in this Gonzaga DC Classic when you have these, particularly these New York Catholic League and New Jersey Catholic League squads here. They may not fare so well here during the tournament. Of course, obviously Bishop Loughlin making it to the championship game. But think about this: for so many years, St. Edmunds would come here, maybe maybe lose in that first round, go forward and end up winning the Catholic League Championship in New York. Archbishop Malloy, same sort of thing. They get to the first and second round, maybe lose there, end up winning the Catholic League Championship. So, you know, and listen, if things hold true, I know there might not be any scientific evidence behind it. Bishop Loughlin, this is a good squad here, and they're probably going to get better as the season goes along.
Oh yeah, definitely. And of course, they lost the last season, you know, to St. Raymond's to get into in the playoff round. But I think this is a young team that, you know, a lot of the writers and us are looking at to make a run at it. So they have a lot of talent. You know, one of the things I thought that they maybe slight knock on them with maybe some of their size down low, you know, in the low post, something that you know, at this point they're just going to have to, you know, work it around to their talented guards and also use their athleticism to get to the basket. But, you know, particularly with you know, I think Coach Khalid Green knows that he has a lot of young players, a couple of real talented sophomores that are only going to get better, that played on the senior squad as freshmen. So he's got some youth to his side. So he knows he's going to have some bumps and bruises along the way. But a good upside for this team. Something that I thought one of the most competitive championships we've seen out of this tournament in the last few years.
And of course, for the Purple Eagles, not long after this, obviously next Friday, they take on St. John's. They'll be in the Rotary Roundball Classic. And then, of course, it's on to the WCAC. We get to see them a couple of times this season, of course, as they take on the Mathis Stags. And, you know, there will be, I mean, again, it would be very interesting, you know, to see Steve, of course, is for a long time assistant coach here under legendary, if I can remember his name.
Dick Myers.
Dick Myers, there you go. Don't believe. Hey, listen, Dick, please don't be offended by that. It's been a long weekend. Anyway, you know, to see him take the team, much like Mike Jones did after taking over for Morgan Wooten at DeMatha. They had that rough first season, and then things started getting better and better. Got better players into the system. He was able to work his system here as well. And you got to, they're poised right now at this point in time to win that WCAC championship, maybe go on and win the city title.
Yeah, I think they're in good position to do it, you know, based on the type of personnel they have and, you know, what they've done. You know, what kind of impresses me, the way they ran through the summer leagues with only one loss. And that tells you, you know, how the players are playing together as they came into the season. It wasn't like they had to start over from scratch. So they did a great job. And, you know, I think as we progress throughout the season, I think this team's only going to get better.
All right, let's go downstairs now for the presentation and the tournament awards.
John McLaughlin, the tournament chairman. Joe Rada, the athletic director here at Gonzaga. And Father Alan Novotny, president of Gonzaga College High School. Our first award is the second place team trophy, recognizing a very talented and competitive team. This year's second place team trophy goes to the very talented Lions of Bishop Loughlin High School, coached by Khalid Green. Next is our third place team award, which this year goes to a team that also traveled the farthest distance from home, the Tigers of Fremont High School from Oakland, California. Our next presentations are the individual player and coaching awards given this year's championship team as a commemorative of your spirited play and sportsmanship. As a remembrance of this special occasion, as we call your name, we ask that you come to center court and receive your award. From the Gonzaga Eagles, number 1, Tyler Thornton. Number 3, Cedric Lindsay. Number 25, Andrew Sterrett. Number 33, William Saffron. Number 34, Patrick Wolf. Number 42, Connor Ford. Number 52, Ian Hummer. Senior, number 4, Rodney Gould. Senior, number 10, Terry Curran. Senior, number 12, Michael Hagan. Senior, number 15, Cameron Johnson. Senior, number 21, Wesley Dunning. And senior, number 23, Max Kenye. Assistant coach, Pete Beckett. Assistant coach, Juan J. Hill. And the head coach in his first season and second Gonzaga Classic Championship, Steve Turner. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the presentation of this year's Gonzaga DC Classic Championship that goes to the Eagles of Gonzaga College High School, their 7th DC Classic Championship. We now want to recognize special achievement and outstanding play during the 2007 Gonzaga DC Classic. We now introduce this year's all-tournament team. This honor, rich in tournament tradition, has been shared by such great players as Roderick Rhodes, Juan Dixon, Joe Forte, Keith Bogans, and Chris Paul. As your name is called, if you're in the Bender Arena, please come to center court. First, from Coolidge High School, Andre Madison. From All Hallows High School, Shane Southwell. From Roman Catholic, Malik Waynes. From Fremont High School, Josh O'Neill. From McNamara, Talib Zena. From Bishop Loughlin, number 20, Ron Lamb. Also Bishop Loughlin, number 3, James Johnson. From Gonzaga, number 52, Ian Hummer. From Gonzaga, senior, number 15, Cameron Johnson. And from Gonzaga, senior, number 23, Max Kenye. And now, ladies and gentlemen, in tribute to outstanding play during this year's tournament, the most valuable player trophy is awarded to number 52, Ian Hummer from Gonzaga College High School.
And what an outstanding tournament it has been, and I don't think it's much of a surprise that Ian Hummer was the most valuable player, Matt.
No, not at all, Nate. Of course, you look at the way he played, particularly in this one and the last couple nights as well, as far as him being so successful with getting opportunities around the basket, also making cuts, getting good passes, and then also moving without the basketball. He was able to do that all tournament long, Nate, and just a real talent. It really stepped up his game since we saw him last season as a junior.
Yeah, you moved pretty well without the basketball as well up here. So it's a great job by everyone. Of course, we want to thank, once again, thanks to the Gonzaga Fathers Club for all their help here and putting on this webcast. And we look forward to doing it next year. Once again, 73-62 is our final score. The Gonzaga Purple Eagles are your 2007 Gonzaga DC Classic champions. For Steph and Monica, and of course Matt Gentlecore, I'm Nate Lewis. Good night, everybody, from Bender Arena. You've been watching the Gonzaga DC Classic 2007 edition from All In Broadcasting.